With the renovation policy by the party, which includes the socialism-oriented market economy, in the last 20 years, Vietnam's economy has experienced great breakthroughs. From a country that frequently faced food shortage, Vietnam is now one of the world's biggest rice exporters. Its GDP is expected to reach $1,200 in 2010. In the 20 years of renovation, the country has succeeded to balance the development of economics, culture, and social advancement. The Human Development Index of Vietnam has grown rapidly, bringing the country to the 105th position of 177 countries. However, Vietnam is also facing huge challenges. Urban and industrial development is threatening the environment. The climate change is leaving negative impacts on the economy. In 2007-2008, Vietnam suffered a series of storms which most affected areas with the coastal region. In addition, the financial crisis and the global economic slump in 2007 also damaged the national economy. Vietnam's average annual growth rate went down from 7.4% to 5.2% in 2008. Therefore, sustainable development is the goal that Vietnam has to strive to reach. And Mr. Nguyễn Bích Đạt, Deputy Minister of Planning and Investment, Secretary General of National Council for Sustainable Development, the Socialist Republic of Vietnam, agreed to join in an interview with VTV reporter about the issues. With all the challenges that Vietnam is facing, what is the Vietnamese government point of view towards sustainable development? The point of view about sustainable development includes human plays a central role in sustainable development. Development must meet the demands of current generation while bringing no challenge to the future generation. Economic development is the focus of sustainable development while paying attention to big issues like food and energy security and food hygiene. Economic development should be harmonized with social development and environment protection. Sustainable development is a task for the party, ministries, authorities of different levels, enterprises, social organizations, and the community. After the World Summit on Sustainable Development in Johannesburg, South Africa in 2002, what have Vietnam done to implement the Agenda 21 on Sustainable Development? Implementing the commitments to the international community, the Vietnamese government on August 17, 2004 ratified the Agenda 21 on Sustainable Development. The agenda, which includes major orientations, establishes the legal framework for long-term sustainable development of Vietnam. The National Council for Sustainable Development has been set up, providing consultation to the Prime Minister so as to realize the goal of sustainable development. The Council, chaired by Deputy Prime Minister, was participated in by agencies of the government, the National Assembly, ministries, organizations, enterprises, and the mass media. A National Sustainable Development Office, established by the Ministry of Planning and Investment, aims to support the Council and implement the Agenda 21 nationwide. Initiatives for sustainable development, including cultivation, husbandry, and forestation and protection, have been implemented in sectors and localities. In Sơn La, sustainable cultivation and husbandry is now being applied, while in Lâm Đồng, sustainable tea plantation is widely known. Other models such as sustainable tourism, biogas, shrimp raising, and forestation are implemented in provinces of Ninh Bình, Quảng Nam, Bến Tre, and many others. Sustainable development models for businesses such as cleaner production, energy saving, have been implemented in enterprises. From your point of view, what are the experiences Vietnam gained from the implementation of Agenda 21? There are experiences we gained from the implementation. That includes the government takes leading role in implementation of sustainable development. Policy and legal framework on sustainable development should be developed. Also, sustainable development programs should be incorporated into the national development strategies, plans, and programs. Education and propaganda should be increased to raise awareness on sustainable development of all people. Domestic and international resources should be mobilized for sustainable development implementation. Vietnam, together with other countries, are facing with climate change. What are the policies that the government issues to lessen the damage of climate change?
thiểu thiệt hại do biến đổi khí hậu gây ra.
The government has promulgated the National Target Program to respond to climate change. This program mobilized the involvement of ministries and localities in building up their own program to cope with climate change. The Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment has set up a scenario for climate change. The Ministry of Planning and Investment's focal point is to mobilize resources from ODA to deal with climate change. At the same time, the Ministry is incorporating climate change issue into the 5-year socio-economic development plan. Together with countries worldwide, Vietnam will make more efforts to realize the Sustainable Development Goal and cooperate with the international community to build a safer, more prosperous and sustainable world in the future. Thank you for joining in our interview.